Okay, so standing up, the feet a little bit wider than the hips, and just finding your ground. So just moving side to side, feeling if maybe you're leaning a little bit more to one side or the other side. Just no questioning, just observing. Sometimes it really gives an indication. And then coming back to center, and then we're going to come onto our tippy toes. Taking a breath in, and then coming down, and then lift your toes, activate the arches, lift the kneecaps, and then spread out your toes on the floor and relax the kneecaps. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, so your feet are solidly planted on the floor. Reach your arms up, and then turn your palms to the front, and as you turn the palms, move your whole arm, and your armpits are normally going to be facing forward. So gentle opening in the chest, and then bring your elbows at the height of your shoulders. Bend your elbows, cactus arms. So cactus arms, you want to have your elbows at the height of the shoulders, and then see if you can press just the upper arm back. So keeping these elbows pushing forward, and just the upper arms are going back. So you should feel a nice stretch. And then this time pressing the elbows back, so opening a little bit more into the shoulders. Watch out with your head that you don't reach forward with your head. Inhale, and now exhale as if you're pressing something, like you're holding onto something and you want to press it together. You're going to bring your forearms together, your elbows together. And then bring the elbows together, bring the palms together, and hold it here. Lift your elbows at the height of your shoulders. Feel the opening in the upper back. And then interlace your hands here, keeping the elbows where they are, and we're going to lengthen out the arms. So maybe this is a little bit more challenging, keeping the forearms together, and then coming back. And then this time, as if you're pushing something away. So your fingers are pointing up again, and you're pushing with your arms. Really imagine that there's, or maybe in water, and that you're pressing that away. And then lengthen out your arms. Palms to the front. Roll the shoulders back. And then as you turn the palms to the back, feel the shoulders moving forward. And then back again. And one last time forward. So shoulders really rounding forward. So you're closing off your chest, and then bring the palms down and release. So the legs are strong, but not rigid. You have to feel very stable in your legs. So it's coming from the feet all the way, kneecaps up, activate the quads. The core is always going to be active. So it's not about pressing the belly button in and not being able to breathe. It's just gently in, and then lift it up so your chest can lift as well. And then from here, let's inhale, reach the right arm up. Press your right foot into the floor. You should already feel a stretch on your right side. Pull your left arm down. So your left shoulder, left hand is going down. Reach up, create a little bit more space. So just like that, without having to fall to the side, we can already create a big stretch. And then exhale, start to go over. So go progressively. So inhaling, creating length, so reaching your fingertips away, pressing your foot a little bit harder into the floor. And then exhale, go over. Inhale. And then now reach forward. So this time we're gonna reach our right shoulder forward, reaching towards the left with our right hand. And then coming back up. And this time turning towards the back. So opening, bring the chest towards the sky, your palm up towards the sky, opening. And then coming back. And exhaling. Inhaling, other arm. So right arm, right shoulder going down. Left arm, left hand coming up. Press your left foot into the floor. And reach up to the sky with your left arm. Take a breath in, lengthening, and exhaling, going to the side. So go progressively, we're warming up, exhaling. Every inhale, we create a bit more length. Every exhale, we go a little bit further. And then again, reaching for the right corner this time. Your left shoulder, your left hand is reaching up. So opening that left upper part of your spine, of your back. And then coming back up. And this time, bring that shoulder, that left shoulder back and reaching with your chest towards the sky. Make sure you keep on breathing here and then coming back and all the way down. Let's bring the feet a little bit closer, so as wide as your hips, but continue to have that strength, that stability into the feet. So if your feet are not very stable, your whole body is gonna have to compensate. So we wanna have all our bones stacked on top of each other to minimize the muscles that have to work. So inhale, reach the arms to the side, bend your knees, and then exhale, we're gonna open up and this time wrap the left arm to the front towards your right hip, and the back arm is going to the back. So this is just slow motion of the movement we're gonna do. Your knees stay bent, inhale up, lengthening the legs, exhale, bending. So gentle rotation, inhaling, exhaling. So watch that your knees remain parallel to each other, so we don't want to twist into the hips. We want to really move into the spine. And then exhale, stay here. Inhale, lengthen your spine, maybe go a little bit deeper into your knees, and then go a little bit more back. So it's that movement from creating length with your inhale and release so that you can rotate a little bit further with your exhale. So next inhale, coming back up, and then going for 3 breaths on the other side. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and on an exhale, coming back and exhale. So separate, so your feet are still as wide as your hips, hands onto the hips, roll the shoulders back, and take a step back with your right foot. You don't have to be too wide, so it's really how you can find again that stability into your feet. So press your feet down. You're on 2 rail tracks, so you're not in one straight line. Your hips are parallel with the front of the mat. You're gonna lower your hands to the hip crease, and just for a moment, pressing with your fingers into the hip crease so that you can feel what it is to go forward, bending here, and not with a round spine. So roll the shoulders back, elbows back, and then start to go forward. Press both feet into the floor. Inhale, exhale. So warming up the back of our legs, press the back foot really strongly into the floor. And most probably your front hip is gonna move forward to help you. So with your hands, press that front hip back so that your hips can remain parallel with the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale. Just warming up here, don't go to your maximum stretch. The lower back should never hurt here. So if your lower back starts to hurt, it means you're pulling a little bit too much. So then you come up, and then progressively with your exhale, you will probably be able to go further. And then press into your feet and come up. And let's change sides. So right foot forward, left foot back. The left foot can slightly be out for stability. Make sure your feet are solidly planted onto the floor. Roll the shoulders back, elbows back, and again, those hands in the hip crease. It's gonna indicate you where you're gonna fold forward. So press your feet down, reach your heart forward, keep your spine neutral. Inhale, exhale. And then press into your feet and come all the way up. So keeping the legs as wide as we were, this time turning the feet out. Placing your hands onto your hips to start. And then just bend your knees for a moment and make sure that your knees are going towards your toes. So you don't want your knees to fall in or out. Knees are supposed to move like this and not all directions. So to protect your knees, you always want to have your knees, as you bend them, moving towards your toes. So let's come back up. So again, strong leg. Feel how your feet are pushing into the floor and feel the energy going up all the way, and then reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, again, those cactus arms, bending the knees. Inhale up. Exhale. So you're really pressing from your feet, using your legs. And exhale. Next time you're going to grab something on the floor. So inhale. With a straight back from your hip crease. Go as deep as you can with control. So you always want to be able to control your movement here. So not sinking and just like, wow. You just want to be able to inhale. Let yourself guide by your breath. And then exhale, stay down. If you want, you can place your hands onto your thighs. If you can, with a straight back, touch the floor, that's fine too. And we're gonna lengthen the spine. So maybe you're here and you wanna lengthen the spine. So look what is available for you today. Sit a little bit deeper. So we're quite wide-legged here. Sit a little bit deeper. So we're not gonna go all the way down. That's way too much for your knees. And we wouldn't be able to keep the knees pointing towards the toes. Inhale. And then slowly come up just a little bit. Lift your heels up. Bring your heels behind your toes and place your heels down. And then start to fold forward. So again, we already did some hamstring stretch, but you want to be mindful of those big muscles that we use all the time. So very slowly start to fold forward. Maybe your hands are not on the floor. That's fine. You can just let your upper body fall forward. Let your arms tangle down. You can grab the opposite elbows to create a sensation of more weight. Take a breath in and see if you can release a little bit into your hips. So you want to make sure that your toes are pointing forward or slightly in, not outwards. Again, that knees are straight here, so your feet are moving from your ankles and your knees are safe. And then walk your hands towards the left. Grab your left leg with your right hand. And then place your left hand on your lower back. And now we're going to bring the body back to the center. So maybe you're going to have to lift your right hand a little bit. And then lengthen your spine as much as you can. And then start to rotate. So left shoulder goes up. Pull onto your left leg with your right arm. Make sure you're not leaning towards the left. So we stay in the center, the hips are parallel with the floor. So most probably the left hip wants to lift. We want to keep the hips in the center. Inhaling up. Long spine, long body. And then exhaling back to center. Going to the other side. So one side can be very different than the other. It's okay. So left hand on the right leg, right hand on the lower back, lengthen your upper body, and then start to open up. So keep on breathing through all this. If you stop breathing, maybe you're going a little bit too far. Or maybe you're not here anymore, and you're just in the pose, in the physical pose. And your thoughts might be somewhere else. And then coming back to center. We're gonna place our hands onto the floor. So bend your knees if you need to. And then walk your right foot a little bit more out. Walk your right hands with it. And then lift your right heel, lift your left toes. And long stretch in the left leg. So your hands can be on either side of your right leg. If your balance is okay, you can place your hands onto your thighs. So it's a first balance. So maybe we don't know if our balance is okay today. If you figure out that, yes, it's a good day today, then maybe you can bring your hands to your heart. So you want to have the purpose of this move, of this asana, is really to open the inner thigh and also practicing our balance. So just pick one if that's what you're up to today. And then placing the hands down, lift a little bit up. So place your right foot down, left foot down, walk to the left, lift your left heel, lengthen your right leg, lift your left toes, or your right toes, sorry. And then again, first finding that stretch into your inner right thigh. And then maybe exploring what your balance is on this side. And let's press into our hands, start to lift up. This time, we're gonna move the left foot towards the short side of our mat, and the right heel is gonna lift. So we're in a lunge. By all means, if you want, you can bring your knee down. We're gonna place the right wrist underneath the right shoulder. Press your left heel back. So your back leg is super, super straight. And then we're gonna start to open up towards the left. So again, a twist in the spine, pressing into your hands, lifting up. Keep on breathing. And then exhale, coming back. Walking to the other side, creating some movement here today. So right toes to the short side, left heel up, press your heel back. By all means, if you need, bring your left knee down. And then left wrist underneath the left shoulder, lengthen your spine to create space and open up. So strong into the legs. If you say, oh, my balance is really not good today, the core will be very active, and also you want to bring the energy towards the center of your body. So more at the perineum, you want to really squeeze almost your legs together without bending the back knee. And then exhale, coming down. And then let's go back to the center. Our feet are much wider now. I'm just going to move the mat. So coming onto your fingertips. So maybe you have to move quite a lot forward. Maybe you need a block. Your toes are pointing slightly in. Your feet are solidly planted into the floor. If you cannot push your feet down, you're probably way too wide. So and then start to walk your hands forward. Come flat on the floor. And once you're flat on the floor, press into your hands. Bring your head between your arms. So it's a very wide-legged dog. So downward dog is a fantastic pose. It works everything. When you go into a wide-legged dog, this one is very wide, but you can also go less wide. You're gonna stretch different parts of your body and work the strength of different parts of your body. But what remains constant is the length in your spine. So press your fingers down, push your hips back, and find that length. Roll the shoulders out. The difference is, of course, that we have no weight into our hands. So people with problems with the wrist, this might be a very good alternative. And then walk your hands towards the center. Bring your feet as wide as your hips. So heel toe, bend your knees. Bring your belly onto your thighs. Bring your hands onto your hips. Roll the shoulders back. So long spine. Inhale, sit a little bit deeper and start to lift your upper body. Sit a little bit deeper maybe. So no weight in the toes here, lots of weight in the heels. And then reach your arms up and come all the way up. And exhale. So separating the feet a little bit wider, we're gonna go in our balance with a hip opener. So if you know that your balance is not the greatest, go to the wall. You can put your bum and your shoulder blades against the wall, or just keep your fingertips against the wall. So you'll understand when we go there. So feet are a little bit wider than the hips. Hands onto the hips and then just bend your knees a little bit. Bring the weight to the left leg. So strong leg, it's supporting. It's not, we're not falling into our hip here. Lift your right leg up. And then open your right hip and your right knee. And your foot is coming over your left leg and above your knee. So don't go and lean your ankle bone onto your kneecap. Not going to be very comfortable. And then you want to become in the center again. Your hands are onto your hips and then with a straight back. So when I say straight, I mean neutral. So that's different for everybody. But what you don't want to do is compensate in the lower back to compensate on maybe weaker abdominals. So keep especially a focus on the lower back so that your lower back remains neutral, so it has space, because as soon as you start to curve in the lower back, you're putting pressure on the vertebrae. So go a little bit deeper. If you're stable, bring your hands in front of your heart. And then from the hip crease, so again, not rounding the shoulders forward, from the hip crease, we are going to go forward. So if you're against the wall here, maybe your bum is still against the wall. Maybe you want to explore and put your fingers onto the wall and press yourself up just a little bit. So from here, you can go really further, 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 further. And if you want to go deeper, release your arms, maybe reach for the floor. Once you touch the floor, you have to there for a moment to move your weight forward onto your hands, and then you can lift your back heel. And eventually we'll go into an arm balance, the left leg going back. So wherever you are, slowly making your way back up or staying if you enjoy it. And coming up, hands to the hips and release. So it's really important to keep enough conscious and stamina within you so that you can go out of the pose. It's as important as going into the pose and staying into the pose. It's all part of it. So again, feet as wide or a little bit wider than the hips. Taking a breath in, finding that strength from your feet all the way to the crown of the head. So stability within your body. Bending the knees a little bit, bring the weight to the right leg this time. Hands onto the hips. Lift your left knee and then open your hip. So place your foot just over your right leg and find that little nook where you can place your ankle. So it's probably a little bit over the ankle bone, a little bit above the knee. And then start to bend your knee to start with. So the lower we are, the lower our center of gravity, the more stable we will be. But of course, it requires a lot of muscle work. So it's all good and well in theory, but in practice, it might be totally different. If you're stable, hands in front of your heart. So feel how your core maybe starts to really activate here. Your chest is open, so we still have that same feeling inside of stability and strength. And then if you want, move forward. Straight back, so neutral back. Your left foot is flexed, so if you let it just hang, everything is going to tickle, so that the whole body is going to work to give you that stability into the pose. And again, if you want to go a little bit further, you can release your hands, maybe reach for the floor, depending how flexy your hip is here. Don't just fall forward for the sake of being on your hands. And in the elegance, we're going to come all the way out, pressing very gently, hands onto the hips, and release. So let's find our mountain pose. So your big toes can be together, heels slightly apart, or you can be feet as wide as your hips, whatever brings you more stability. And then bring the arms alongside your body. So some teachers will tell you like to really stretch out and really spread your fingers. When I was in Belgium, I did Iyengar for the whole time I was there. And I've done Iyengar before, but this time this stretching of the arms was a little bit too much for me. But again, this might just for you give a feeling of I'm here, I'm present, I'm practicing. So whatever works for you. So pressing your feet down, lifting the kneecaps, activating the core. Your sternum, your breastbone is going to lift up, your shoulders are going back, shoulder blades are going down. Lengthen the cervical spine, press against your skull, your chin is slightly going to go down. And then with your inhale, press your feet down all the way up to the crown of your head. Finding that length, that space within your body. And then as you exhale, see if you can keep it without holding your breath, without holding tight onto your muscles. I'm not saying you should release all the muscles, but we have to find ease within, ease and peace. Inhale, exhale. You can close your eyes to really feel from within. Maybe you start to sway because you lose the external references for your center of gravity, so your body has to really connect within. And if you're not at the front of your mat, go there. Taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. And then inhale, this time bring your arms back. So we're gonna really open the chest. And if you want, you can press your hips forward. So we're gonna go a little more into a banana. And then reaching your arms up. So you're basically gonna reach your arms together or pointing up into your banana. So pressing the feet down, there are your anchor. Going back. So if your lower back is hurting here, come up a little bit, create some space. Make sure you press your tailbone back and then start to move back a little bit more. Inhale, reach your fingertips away, creating that space in the spine. Tailbone goes down and maybe going back a little bit more. And then inhale, coming back up. So realigning the spine just for a moment before we're going into a forward fold. Take a deep breath in, press your feet down all the way to your fingertips, but bring the shoulder blades down. Inhale, one more, and then exhale, folding forward from the hip crease. So first you start with a straight back. When your hamstrings are screaming, you start to bend your knees a little bit, and then you start to fold your spine forward, head is heavy. Inhale, hands onto the thighs, roll the shoulders back. Lengthen your spine, reach forward with your heart. Neck is part of the spine, so keep your neck aligned with the spine. Roll the shoulders back. You can really press into your thighs. Bring the arms to the side or to the front, but watch out for your lower back. So don't compensate by pushing your belly button in or out. We want to keep the lower back neutral. Reaching forward. And then exhale, folding forward. So again, if you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. Bring the right leg back, right knee onto the floor. And then inhale, reach your arms up. So exhale, let gravity play and let your hips sink down. So opening the front of the right thigh. Inhale, exhale. So with every inhale from our hips, we're reaching up. We're not lifting our hips. We keep that weight into our hips for a natural opening, but we're gonna reach and lengthen our upper body. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Walk your hands back, keep your toes on the floor. Open up the front of your left foot. And then walk your hands a little bit further, lift your toes. Lengthen your spine. If you need blocks, take blocks. And then exhale, go maybe a little bit deeper. And then walk your hands back to the front. Place both hands down, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and come into plank. So strong plank, press your heels back, press your tailbone towards your heels. Press into your arms, don't sink in your shoulders. And then bring your knees down, your chest down, your chin down. And inhale, push your hands back and come into your first cobra. So roll the shoulders back, elbows back. Inhale and then exhale, let's come down. So you want to make sure that your hands are at the height of your chest. So that's why we do knees, chest, chin, coming down so you have more space to move forward. And then inhale, let's lift up. So without waiting to our hands, let's lift into our cobra. Again, neck part of your spine, exhale, coming down. Inhale, maybe this time a little bit higher, so as if you want to push your mat back with your arms. We're going to lift a little bit higher. So lots of work into the arms here. Inhale, keep the pubic bone on the floor, and then exhale, coming down. Tuck your toes, press into your hands, and come on all fours. So before we're going to move into downward dog, we want to first, without the legs, recognize the length or that we want to achieve or we want to feel into our spine. So bring your hands at the front of the mat. Take a breath in. So we're in a plank onto our knees. And then as you exhale, press into your mat. Push your hips back. Already start to roll the shoulders out. So the eye of the elbow, the inside of the elbow is moving up towards the sky, but you press with your thumb and your index into the floor. Wide open back. Press your hips back. So you want to feel that lengthening in the spine without rounding, without curving, especially if you know your hamstrings are tight. Remember how your spine is now, your lower back. If your hamstrings are tight and you go in with straight legs into lower back, your lower back is going to start to round. So we really want to keep that length into our spine. And then inhale, coming back to the front, tuck your toes, and then slowly start to move into your downward dog. So press your hands down. So the first part is exactly the same as what we just did. Fingers are wide, press your hands down, push your head between your arms, roll the shoulders out, press your thumb and the index into the floor. And then with your knees bent, find that length again into your spine. Same thing. And then lengthen the right leg and just observe, like we probably feel a good stretch in the back of the legs. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then the left knee goes down. Keep on breathing. And now walk your dog a little bit, but keep your upper body long. Keep your shoulders rolled out. And then bend both knees. And one more time, lift your hips up, find that length. And exhale, heels coming down. So how is your lower back? Did you feel that it's going rounding? So you will feel it, pubic bone moves up, tailbone moves down. So you really want to find that length. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And lift your right leg up. And then bring your right foot between your hands. Exhale, left knee comes down. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, let go. So nothing to do for the hips, for the opening of the left groin, left front thigh. Just gravity here. And then start to move with your inhale to reach up from your hips all the way to your fingertips. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Next exhale, bring the hands down, walk your hands back, press your toes down. So if your leg is not straight here, that's okay. We want to focus on the toes down, lengthen your spine. And then lifting the foot, this time your leg is straight, lengthen the spine, maybe go a little bit deeper. But don't force onto the hamstring, you want to feel the stretch, but we don't want to feel overstretched or pain. And then walk your hands forward, place your hands down, tuck your back toes, lift your knee, and hop your left foot forward. Again, lengthen your spine, so hands on the thighs or maybe on the tibia, but always rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, folding forward. Bend your knees, inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale. This time, left leg back, left knee on the floor. And we're going to walk our right foot out. So both hands are on the inside of our right foot. First of all, place your right hand on your right thigh and gently start to push onto your right leg. So your inside of your right foot is going to come from, it's going to lift from the floor. We're just opening up. If you want, you can create a gentle rotation. So bring the right shoulder back, pressing with the left hand into the floor. Don't sink into the shoulder. So gentle rotation, but we're actually moving the hips to the side. So there is a limit here, which is bone to bone, so no worries. And then come back to center. Placing both hands down, roll the shoulders back, bring the eye of the elbows to the front, and then start to bend into your elbows. So your heart is still reaching forward, so you don't want to start to round your spine. If you want to go a little bit further, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, press your heel away, and then go forward. This time your right knee points towards your right toes. So don't let it fall to the side. So your option, knee on the floor or knee lifted. Long spine. And then press into your hands. Bring the left knee down. Walk your foot back to center, both hands down. Lift your back knee, and let's move into plank. So your option here, knee, chest, chin, or chaturanga. So if you're moving into chaturanga, you want to have the eye of the elbow, the inside of your elbow moving forward, and then very slowly start to bend your elbows alongside your chest until your upper arms are parallel with the front of your mat, and then you push into your hands and you come forward. And then exhale, you roll into your toes back into downward dog. And then again, walk your dog a few times, but not without paying attention to your back. And come into your full expression of the dog. And then inhale, lift the left leg up. Bring the left foot in between your hands. You can bring the left knee down and then walk your left foot towards the left, hands on the inside of your left foot. Tuck or untuck your back toes, so it's more for stability. And then your left hand goes on your left thigh and open up that left knee to the side. So the inside of your left foot is going to lift. You're really leaning onto the outside of your left foot. And then if you want, gently pressing into your thigh and opening up. So gentle rotation here. You don't want to go too far. There's a lot happening here into the hip area. And then coming back to center. Both hands on the floor, eye of the elbows to the front. Your option to lift your knee or not. And then roll the shoulders back. Find length into your spine before you start to bend your elbows. So your elbows are going back as if you had chaturanga arms. That's to keep the chest open, the spine is long. And slowly press back up. You can place your knee on the floor, walk your left foot back to center. Lift your knee and then hop your right foot forward. And again, inhale, long spine. Maybe you feel you can go a little bit lower with your arms. And exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees as you come up. So straight back to protect your lower back. Inhaling all the way up. And exhaling. 1 or 2 breaths here, find your mountain pose. So we're moving slowly, but if you observe your body, maybe that's not what you need to do today. Maybe you want to bike around in the backyard. So maybe you can do that after. You just want to be in the moment. I think we are all learning that in these times, to be in the moment. We don't know, we really don't know what the future is going to bring us. So being in the moment becomes actually the most comfortable place to be. It's very challenging to believe that. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, falling forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, move with your breath. Bring the right leg back and the right heel. So we're going to go into warrior one. So your right foot is pointing out, your front foot pointing forward. Bend your knees slightly. Bring your hands to your hips. Press into your feet to come up. So your hips are almost parallel with the front of the mat. There's one leg back, so it will never be perfect. And perfect doesn't exist anyway, so you want to press the outside of your back foot into the floor. So your right leg is very straight. If you have a tendency to really curve the lower back, so you feel the compression, explore. Bring the tailbone back a little bit. You will feel a stretch in the front of your right thigh. Maybe your right knee even bends, but just play a little bit. Like, let's try to find a healthy way, a healthy position for your back. And if you do that regularly, eventually this front thigh is going to stretch out so that you can have the space in your lower back. And then start to bend your front knee. So press your front foot down, strong legs. And again, see if you can bring the strength of your legs, the stability for your legs in the center, all the while pushing down. So you're almost squeezing your legs together here. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, press into your legs, strong legs. Inhale. And now if you want, you can go slightly back. But this is very conscious. You're gonna start, your arms are staying next to your ears, and you're gonna start by lifting your breastbone up. Your sternum lifts up, so you're going slightly back. First from the upper back. Bring the tailbone down if you feel compression into the lower back. But by all means, if that's not for you, just stay where you are. Inhale, reach up, and then exhale, bring the arms down. Interlace your hands in the back. Roll the shoulders back, keep the elbows bent for now. Whoops. And then lengthen out your arms. Open the chest, bring the shoulder blades together. Keep your legs very strong. The front knee remains bent. And then from your hip crease, push into your back foot and start to fold forward. So straight back, pull your arms back, keep the chest open. Inhale, exhale. You can lift your arms as long as your shoulders don't drop forward. So find where you're at today. Inhale, exhale, reach your chest forward. Find that length in your upper body. And then with your next exhale, release your hands on the floor. Lift your back heel. Maybe hop your right foot a little bit more forward. Walk your hands forward. And then start to lift your right leg. So for now, we keep the left knee bent. We are going to first position this right leg. Press the heel away. Toes are slightly pointing in. And your foot is almost as if you were standing on the floor. So the heel and the cushions of your toes are pressing. And then you can fold forward, maybe lengthen your left leg, maybe not. That's really up to you, but that right leg is strong. Maybe you can grab your ankle with one hand or two hands. Take a breath in. If you're holding onto your ankle, place your hands back on the floor. And then as you exhale, big step back for warrior two. So this time, both heels in one line, back foot toes pointing to the long side of your mat, and then windchill, open, windmill, your arms up. So important again, the knee pointing towards the toes. If you feel that your leg is falling inward, place your left hand on your left thigh and roll the flesh out. Movement is coming from the hips, so it has to really give that direction so that your knee points towards your toes. Your arms are long, you're stretching from your armpits, not from the shoulders. If we stretch from the shoulders, often we're gonna lift the shoulders. So see if you can go and get it from underneath all the way to your fingertips. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. You can gaze at your left hand, at your front hand. Take a breath in and a breath out. Turn the front palm up and then inhale. Reach your arm up. So dancing warrior, lengthen your back arm. If you prefer, you can bend and reach for your front thigh. We want to open up on the left side. We don't necessarily want to fall back all the way. So we want to keep length and then reach, keep the legs straight. And then exhale, come back. Inhale, press into your front foot, lengthen the front leg. And then reach forward. So your left hip is going to disappear, your right hip is going to lift up. So reach, 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 till most probably the limit is the inner thigh. Strong feet. So if you feel you can't hold onto your feet, maybe you're going a little bit too far. And now open your chest. So you want to bring that right shoulder a little bit more back. And the left bum moves a little bit more forward. And this is a lot of things as preparation of triangle. Inhale and then exhale. Bring your right arm up, left arm down. So equal distance between your ribs. So it's not about being here, hand on the floor and saying, yeah, I'm perfect, ready for front page yoga journal. No, it's, first of all, it's about what you feel inside. But if you want to feel space, you want to keep that upper body nice and long. You want to open up in your chest. You can gently lean onto your left leg if you want to, or onto a block. But we want to keep and find space. Strong legs. Inhale, exhale. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, warrior two. Lift your back heel, bring your arms up so you're on your toes of the right foot, and then exhale, come down. Bring your left leg back, come into your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So walk your dog a few times, maybe dance your hips, whatever you need to do here. And then press into your hands. Lift your right leg up, bring your right foot between your hands, left foot for warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Again, adjust, explore. Because if we always go to the same place, maybe we always feel the same thing, and we're not going to evolve. So by exploring, and maybe what we need is just that comfort of being in the same place. That's totally fine. So whatever happens, it's not just your body, it's also your mind. It's your mental state today as you're standing here on your mat. So be kind to yourself. Inhale, maybe go a little bit back. And then exhale, bring both arms back. Open the chest, bring the shoulder blades together, lengthen your arms. Inhale, and then strong feet here. Move forward on the inside of your right leg, long spine. Keep rolling those shoulders back. Inhale, exhale. Next exhale, place your hands down, lift your back heel, maybe hop a little bit closer, keep your right knee bent, and move your hands a little bit more to the front, and then start to lift your back leg. So straight, strong back leg,
toes slightly pointing in so that your hips can remain parallel with the floor, and then start to fold forward. So this is a forward fold. Inhale, exhale. And then with your next exhale, take a big step back for your warrior two. And I'm just gonna turn around. So warrior two. So position your feet, heels in line. Always those strong feet, shoulders above the hips. So sometimes we are gonna already get ready for a triangle. So it's really keeping those hips aligned, parallel with the floor, reaching, gazing at your front hand, roll the shoulders back. Turn the front palm up, and then inhale, open up. Stay here for 3 breaths, or if you prefer to move back and forward, it's your practice. It's not mine. And maybe bend the front knee a little bit more. And exhale, coming back into warrior two. Press into your front foot, lengthen that front leg, and then reach forward. So strong feet, reach, retreat. How far is my inner thigh allowing? Are my feet stable? And then see if you can press that upper hip back. So the left hip back, the front bum comes a little bit forward, starting off with a long spine. And then coming over. Opening the chest. So we're in between two walls. Inhaling, exhaling. And then inhaling, coming up, exhaling, warrior two. Lift your back heel, reach your arms up, and then bring your hands to your hips and hop your left foot forward. That wasn't too much of a hop for me. And then again, coming to your Tadasana. So move to the center of your mat so that we have place to come down. And separate your feet as wide as your mat. Your toes can spill out. So your toes are slightly pointing out. Hands onto the hips or arms in the front. So if your arms are reaching to the front, roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades down. So you don't want to be like this, with your arm back. So again, explore what feels good today. And then start to bend your knees. So again, knees towards the toes. So start to bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees. Maybe you have to make some adjustment as you come down. If you can come onto your heels, great. If not, practice this every day a minute and you'll be on your heels before you know it. And then let's bring the arms wide and long. So pressing the arms into your legs, lengthening the spine. So we will have a tendency to roll the shoulders forward. So see if you can roll your shoulders back, bring the shoulder blades back down, and then bring the palms together and maybe opening up a little bit more. Taking a breath in and a breath out. And then from here, bring the arms to the back. Bending your knees, see if you can bring the feet quite close to your body. And then we're gonna place one hand under each knee. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. So roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades down, and really hold on to your legs. So your feet are on the floor. It becomes a bit more difficult to press them down here. You're really working the upper body here. So lengthening. And then with your next exhale, release a little bit into the elbows. And you're gonna start to round your spine. So your chin comes to your chest. Your feet are still on the floor. You're still holding on to your legs. If you let go in your legs, you're gonna fall back. So rounding the spine, shoulders are moving forward. You're opening the upper back, mainly the upper back. So take a breath in and maybe go a little bit further. Your arms can be all stretched out. Your feet are still touching the floor. If you fall back, just go off. We will be joining you. Inhale. exhale. And then inhale, gently coming up. And this time placing the hands behind your thighs, moving your feet a little bit more forward. And that same rounding, but starting from the tailbone, rounding. So feel how you maybe move over your sitting bones from the front to the back. And then one vertebrae at a time is going to come down. If you want to bring your knees with you, go ahead. So lifting the feet very slowly, going all the way back, unrolling your spine onto the floor, and then bringing the knees into the chest. Maybe give yourself a little massage. And again, explore here. Maybe if you bring your knees a little bit more above your hips, you're going to mainly massage your sacrum. If you bring your knees closer, you're really on the lower back. So maybe you can make circles so that you can massage everything. I'm in dire need of a massage. Such a good feeling. And then keeping the knees as they are, separate them now. Bring your arms in between your legs, grab the outside of your feet or your ankles or your legs, whatever is available for you, and hold on to your feet. So you want to, first of all, before we go any further, press your sacrum into the floor. So your spine, your lower back is normally gently going to lift into its natural curve. And then start to lift your feet so that the soles of your feet are parallel with the floor, keeping the lower back on the floor. So if we're lifting the lower back, we're actually not going into the hips. We're just rounding the spine. So we want to keep, and then every exhale, pull onto your feet or your ankles so that your knees come a little bit closer to the floor. If you want to move a little bit here, just be mindful that toes and knees should still be in one line. If you want to maybe roll from side to side, whatever makes this a happy pose, it's a happy baby pose. And then very slowly bring the soles of the feet together so you can place your hands on your ankles. And then as you bring your feet down, bring the hands onto the inner thighs. So the outside of your feet are on the floor, soles together, knees are out. And then press with your left hand into your left thigh. So you're gonna move over gently to the left. Left knee comes on the floor, or maybe not. And then move towards the right, so pressing into the right thigh. So gently releasing that the lower spine and the sacrum. So just gently moving from side to side. And then place your hands on the outside of your thighs. Bring the knees together. Open your arms into a T. Bring the knees at the height of your hips. And then just gently moving from side to side. Again, releasing a little bit higher into the spine here. So move at your own pace. Shouldn't be too much effort here. Maybe your abdominals are helping you, hopefully, to move from side to side. And then coming back to center. Take a deep breath in, lift your head, lift your chest. And then as you exhale, lengthen your legs. Each foot goes to its corner. And then place, you can move a little bit so that you're comfortable on your bum. Let your feet drop out. Bring your arms halfway between the hips and a T. If you need to create a bit more space into your chest, press into your heads, lift your shoulders, roll the shoulders under, and then wiggle yourself out till when it's comfortable. Taking a deep breath in. And a long breath out. And then allow yourself to rest onto the floor. Allow your mind to be in the present moment. And if that's hard, connect to your breath. Allow your belly to release, your chest to relax, your shoulders to drop back. Nothing to hold in this moment. Your face is relaxed, your forehead, your jaw, your nose, your eyelids, everything relaxed. Nothing else to do in this moment. And then in the luxury of your home, maybe you want to stay here longer. Give yourself that gift. If you're ready to come out, take a deep breath in and a long exhale through your mouth, letting go. Moving the toes and the fingers, the nose. And then bring the legs together. And inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. And how much you're going to stretch is really how you feel in this moment. What do you need? Do you need to wake up to start your day, or do you want to just continue and feel relaxed? So really, there's no obligation to stretch it all out. Taking a deep breath in, and then exhale, bring the knees into the chest. And then gently roll over to your right side, making a pillow with your right arm. If the right side is not comfortable, please go to the left. And then very gently pressing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Feeling the spine maybe light and long. No effort, just awareness. Gently tuck the chin, bring the hands in front of the heart or one palm on top of each other on the heart, whatever feels good for you today. And my wish is for all of us to find peace within, so that we can share our peace with the rest of the world and create peace in the world. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your time, your energy. I wish you a wonderful day. Namaste.